What is up, guys? Jim here with another Lots of Games video. I have here 10 PS4 games to represent the 10 worst rated PS4 games in the world. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we get started with the top 10 list of the worst PS4 games that you can pick up, let's talk about the dishonorable mentions for the PS4. So to start things off with the dishonorable mentions for the PS4, we have Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. And that one has a Metacritic score of 43 out of 100. This was really disappointing because War of Cybertron and also Fall of Cybertron, both of those games scored very well. Gamers really love those two Transformers games. And then you've got this one coming out. It was released, of course, on the Xbox One and the PS4, and it was really bad. If you guys have a PS4 and are looking for a really good Transformers game, I'd recommend you guys check out Devastation. Okay, next up we have that Resident Evil game on Umbrella Corps. Umbrella Corps got a score of 38 out of 100. That was just really bad from what I've heard. Next up we have Godzilla. Godzilla also got a score of a 38 out of 100. The next one is a game that I have reviewed, and unfortunately it was just bad. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Pro Skater 5 got a score of 32 out of 100. Really disappointed because I love a lot of the games in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. And that fifth installment was just horrible. Broken in so many ways. That one got a 32 out of 100. Okay, next up is Ghostbusters. And Ghostbusters, this is the 2016 one. There was a Ghostbusters game that was released in 2009 or 2010. The one that was released in 2016 is really bad. That Ghostbusters game got a 30 out of 100. Okay, so in at number 10 is Air Conflicts Vietnam. And this is an arcade flight game. It has a score of 30 out of 100. Apparently, this game is broken in many ways, and also the story is really bad. In at number 9, we have Wander. And Wander has a score of 28 out of 100. This one uses the CryEngine, and it's all about exploring, going out and checking things out. And it looks, if you check out the trailers on YouTube, Wander for the PS4, it looks like just a broken tech demo. A tech demo that just, they're like, this is what it's going to be in 2 or 3 years, but they just released it, and it's not very good. In at number 8, we have Basement Crawl. And Basement Crawl has a 27 out of 100. A lot of people were really looking forward to that one because apparently it was supposed to have similar gameplay elements as Bomberman. You know, be able to play this game with your friends, competitively, couch co-op or couch competitive multiplayer, and did not do well at all. Got a 27 out of 100, broken in many ways. Okay, in at number 7, we have Motorcycle Club. And Motorcycle Club has a score of 26 out of 100. And apparently the controls are cumbersome and boring from one of the reviews I've read. Okay, in at number 6 is Yasai Ninja. Yasai Ninja has a score of 23 out of 100. And this one has, it's a hack and slash title, and it has single player and co-op. And according to the reviews, single player and co-op are downright awful. And according to Push Square, they said on how the game has heavy controls, and the controls and the gameplay felt like it was dragging. So bad game, and unfortunately disappointed a lot of fans that were hoping for a good hack and slash game to download for the PS4. In at number 5 is Energy Hook. Energy Hook has a score of 22 out of 100. This was a really disappointing one for a lot of people because Jamie Frystrom is actually, he was a technical director and designer for the PS2 classic Spider-Man 2. Not the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2, which came out for a few different platforms years ago. And so a lot of people are like, oh great, you know, we worked on Spider-Man 2, which is just an incredible game. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Energy Hook got a 22 out of 100, and it was poorly executed, and it had really bad controls and just a bad presentation. In at number 4 is actually one that really disappointed me. I've not been able to play it, but when I read about it, it was just disappointing. Cartoon Network Battle Crashers. And Battle Crashers, the Cartoon Network, it got a 21 out of 100. Why I was so disappointed about this is because this is actually a beat 'em up. Don't get a lot of beat 'em ups nowadays. In the 90s, beat 'em ups were everywhere. Games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Final Fight, Streets of Rage. And so when this one was released, you got to play with Cartoon Network characters. I was like, that sounds pretty cool. Unfortunately, according to critics and also gamers, this one is just downright boring. And also it features front and center a lot of the lesser known characters that not a lot of people care about. They don't really focus on the much loved characters as much as people felt they should focus on. So it got a 21 out of 100. In at number 3, we have Afro Samurai 2. Now the first Afro Samurai game, it wasn't like incredible, but a lot of people bought it. And it didn't get the most amazing reviews, but it got, somewhat average, a little bit below average scores. Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of Kuma, it has a Metacritic score of 21 out of 100. And then the interesting thing about this one is actually it was an episodic series. And Afro Samurai 2 actually, the first episode did so bad and got so many gamers so upset that the publisher actually ended up taking the game off PlayStation Network, Xbox Live Marketplace, and I think also Steam took it off so you could not buy it anymore. And they ended up refunding all the people that bought Afro Samurai 2. Apparently, according to reviewers, the game has sloppy combat, poor voice acting, and really bad technical issues that sour every moment. Such a shame. A lot of people bought Afro Samurai for the PS3 and Xbox 360. Maybe we're looking forward to the follow-up, and disappointed in so many ways. In at number 2, we have Rugby 15. Rugby 15 has a score of 19 out of 100. So apparently there's some major issues, major bugs, and just has bad visuals. This is a real shame because there's millions and millions of rugby fans out there, and this is one of the worst games you can get for your PS4. I'm sure a lot of PS4 owners are like, you know what? There's basketball, there's football, there's a lot of different sports games. I want a good rugby game. Unfortunately, this is not one to pick up. They ended up doing, shortly after the release of Rugby 15, they released a follow-up shortly after to kind of fix some of these issues. It was a Rugby 15 World Cup. It was a little bit better, but still scored very, very poorly, unfortunately. Okay, so the worst rated PS4 game is Orc Slayer. And Orc Slayer has a score of 15 out of 100. That is bad. 1.5 out of 10. All the reviewers that reviewed this game, on average, it's 15 out of 100. Really bad. It is a broken first-person shooter, apparently, with PS2 visuals. And there's one YouTube reviewer I got to check out his review for this game. And apparently what he was facing is he would pause the game, and oftentimes when you'd unpause the game would start stuttering, and in many cases it would just freeze up and stop. Just a broken game, unfortunately, and it shows with the reviews that were released for it. Well guys, there are the 10 worst rated PS4 games that are available right now. Any bad games you guys have played, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys like these types of videos, hit that thumbs up button so I can know to make more. As always guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you later.